A new graphic novel is offering a creative look at Revolutionary-era South Carolina. Let's welcome its author, Melina Testin, who is also education coordinator and military historian for the South Carolina Historical Society. Glad to have you with us.
Yes, thank you for having me and featuring my graphic novel.
This is so cool. All right, so the book is called Drawn to Freedom, Sketches of Revolutionary South Carolina. How did this project come about?
So it came about as a way to engage students specifically in South Carolina. So military historian enthusiasts and people who are interested in the revolution are invited to read it, but it really had this 6th through 12th grade focus in mind. So we feature 4 different South Carolinians who had major roles in the American Revolution and all of their different backgrounds and stories.
I recognize a lot of the names in here because we've got a lot of landmarks that are named after these people, in fact. But now, this is your second book, but when you were putting this together, what new things did you learn?
So it's a little bit different. The first graphic novel that I did focused on 20th century history, and so this one you really had to dig up figures who were prevalent during the 1700s, and so it's finding them in archival documents, and it's finding their stories in kind of new and creative ways.
That's really neat. All right, so you said that this is for grades
6 through 12.
6 through 12. So walk us through some of the pages here, because I'm seeing dates and then I'm seeing stories. I love some of the illustrations in here as well, which you did as well. You did the whole shebang. You did the whole thing.
Yeah, so we feature primary source documents. So a lot of these are actually written by the people themselves. So we have the letter book of Eliza Wilkinson. She was writing letters and writing diary entries during the British occupation of Charleston. So we have her direct wording that's in the book. So it kind of invites students to interact in a few different ways, through the illustrations, through some narration that I wrote, and then also through these primary source voices.
And then at the end of each chapter, you've got a little activity. So tell us about the activities. I saw one back in.
So
Kind of cool.
It's a fun way to kind of engage and bring it off of the page. So we have an activity that talks about Catawba pottery. We feature the story of Peter Harris, who is a Catawba warrior during the American Revolution.
With the origami.
Yeah, and at the end, there's a discussion of how the Catawba people decorate the pottery that they make. And it allows students to kind of engage with that and make their own little bowl.
That's wonderful. And as we're embarking on America's 250, why is this so important, especially for this particular book to come out now?
I think it's important to show a variety of different stories. Particularly as people are learning about their own ancestors and trying to make sense of what the 250th means for them. It's important to be able to read through these stories and learn how different types of people were engaging with the revolution. It's
true, and especially if you're going to be living here in South Carolina, the seat of so much of that American history and its founding taking place right under our feet. You know, we tend to always keep looking to the future, not looking so much at the past, and we take for granted the rich history that South Carolina had and contributes to the founding of this nation of ours.
Oh, for sure. Right. Yes, and all the ways that these people helped make the country change over time and grow.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, tell us about the tie-in with the exhibit Voices of Revolution on display now, and where is this?
So this is at the South Carolina Historical Society Museum. So we're located in the Fireproof Building in downtown Charleston. We recently opened a new exhibit called Voices of Freedom, Voices of the Revolution, and it goes through similar stories. It features people of all different backgrounds, and that'll be on display at the Fireproof Building through 2027.
Okay, that's terrific. How are these books going to get distributed to the children?
So we will be writing some lesson plans that correspond with South Carolina standards for education. So we'll be giving some of these books to schools and classrooms throughout the state. They are also being sold through the Historical Society, so at our website, schistory.org, or in person at the Fireproof Building.
How does it feel to have your book going into classrooms being read by all these very formative and impressionable young minds?
It's super exciting. I always say that these types of resources are what I wish I had when I was in high school. It's a great way to engage with military history without being maybe too intense of watching a movie or a documentary. It's a great kind of entry point for this type of history.
It really is. How did you get so attracted to our American history and military history in particular? Were you ever in the military yourself?
I've not been in the military. I was interested in it in college. When I was working on my first graphic novel, which was about the 20th century military experience, I was able to interview veterans, talk to their families and their friends, and that was a really great kind of entry point to learning about history. This obviously a little bit different. There weren't people to interview, but you can still still find their voices and tease out those stories by reading through archival documents.
Well, and you speak to a really important point, how we need to preserve things. We need to preserve our history. So it's through, whether it's letters, written words, oral history, I'm sure for you as a historian that is incredibly important. And thank you to you for keeping that alive and carrying it on. So now that this book has come out, and really this is tailored to celebrate the 250, what's next for you? What are you going to be doing next?
So at the South Carolina Historical Society, we have lots of education programs that are going on associated with the 250th. So we'll be giving lectures around the state. I also have a program that's called our Traveling Archive, which brings just a few of our millions of archival documents from the Historical Society around the state into classrooms and gives students the opportunity to really encounter these primary sources and figure out how to be historians and use archival documents.
That's wonderful. Melina, thank you so much. Congratulations on your book. That's wonderful.
Thank you.
Wonderful accomplishment. We'll be back after this.